Fear is overrated, I promise that you can overcome it. Keep on climbing till you finally reaching the summit. Never back down, never go astray, and never pay attention to the words that they say. You just put them.
A guy that takes a lot of pride in stepping in this ring. I'm a guy that takes a lot of pride in being a professional wrestler.
I'm expecting the crutch, not expecting no help. You believe it, then you gotta see it through by yourself. And when this light bites back and it's leaving you broke, and even if a song fades, well, there's a beacon of hope.
Yeah, that's right.
The most technically proficient professional wrestler walking the face of God's green earth.
Never let them dictate whichever way that you go. And if it's standing in your way, then you letting them know that the curtain's finally opened and it's time for the show.
I want to be the best. I think I am the best.
Let go. Here we go.
We will conquer all the oceans you can name.
Smooth sailing, baby.
We won't take.
I ain't taking nothing.
You know, they often say, it's been well said, that life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you deal with it.
Oceans you can name.
Smooth sailing, baby.
We won't take anything.
Yeah, I ain't taking nothing.
John, I know you started out in tag team with Eddie Browning. So let's go talk about that for a minute. You faced the Batten twins together. You faced Bo James's family together. And you went off to a rocky start. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, you know, we'd been on a roll there for a couple of years. We'd traveled pretty much all over southeastern United States. We'd had a lot of success. We'd beat a lot of teams, had a lot of championships, won a lot of championships. Our biggest rivalry during that time, aside from Bo James and his first family, were with the Batten. That rivalry was with the Batten twins. Just a lot of competition. We faced some of the best tag teams around, as I said. And I think somewhere along the way, you know, we just had a couple little miscommunications. I think it kind of got to the point Eddie had been wrestling a little longer than I was, and we were, or a little longer than I had, and we kind of been pulled in a couple of different directions here and there. It just caused a little bit of friction, and I think as you'll see here shortly, that little bit of friction kind of turned into something a little bit more.
He dotted the I with that one. Now, there's no doubt about it. No pun intended.
Let's see what happens here. Trying this move that we saw earlier. And what? Oh!
What was that?
What? No,
He powerbombed him.
You've got to be kidding me! Eddie Browning slams Johnny Noble.
Well, was it an accident? Now, wait a minute. Was it an accident? He's helping him up. Wait a minute.
Belly to back. You've got to be kidding me! What's going on? What's gotten in to Eddie Browning? The Batten twins looking on right now. You have got to be kidding me.
They had the match in control. They had to control back. What's going on here?
The Batten twins, look at them. They're just shrugging their shoulders. They don't know what's going on. Scotty Ace just standing on the outside of the ring. How is Billy Biggs going to
I mean, these guys
this one? Eddie,
climbed up the ladder.
You've got to be
so
kidding me. What's going on here?
They climbed up the ladder so young in a career. I mean, these guys they're best friends.
And now the double team maneuver. This is
he's
the
walking away, and he's leaving him in there with the
blackjack. There's the blackjack from the Batten twins. We could have new champions here. You have got to be kidding me.
We can't. Oh, come on.
And a 3 count. Good gosh. What's gotten into Eddie Browning? You have got to be kidding me. New tag team champions here on NCW Rampage. The Batten twins defeating something else. We've got to find out what happened to Eddie Browning. This is ridiculous. Eddie Browning turning on his longtime partner. The Batten twins are the tag team champs. Fans, we're out of time for this week. All right, we're here with Johnny Noble. John, your tag team partner, Eddie Browning, something else. You guys lost the tag team belts here May 12th to Death and Destruction. You won them back. But what's the situation now with you and Eddie Browning? You offered a handshake. He wouldn't shake your hand. What's the problem between the two of you?
Well, you know, I don't know. He hasn't returned my phone calls all week. You know, we lost the belts to the Batten twins in Moorhead recently when he jumped me from behind and power bombed me and left me for dead. I've been trying for weeks to get a hold of him. I don't know what the deal is. He hasn't said anything. All I want to know right now is I know that we are without a doubt, when we're together, one of the best tag teams in this area. And what I want to know right now, Eddie Browning, come out here and talk to me, son. Face me like a man, shake my hand, look me in the eye, and tell me what the problem is.
All right, Johnny Noble calling out Eddie Browning, and Something else, as Johnny said, one of the top tag teams in the area. And now Johnny wants to know what the situation here is, Eddie.
You know, John, what you were talking about, we were the best team to ever come around in this place. You know, we are the best team that has ever set foot in Kingsport or in Eastern Tennessee, in Virginia, in Kentucky, wherever you want to go. But those titles meant something to me. They meant something to me. You know, it's true, we've been friends all of our lives, but those titles meant something to me. And then you want me to come out here and shake your hand? I'm telling you, shake my hand and tell me what the problem is. Shake it like a man.
Oh, it's breaking down fast now as Eddie Browning is going to work on John Noble. The team of something else falling apart before our very eyes as, oh, wait a minute. Johnny Noble firing back here on Eddie Browning. Johnny Noble just firing in a series of right hands on Eddie Browning. He's got him rocking and takes him head first to the ring. Noble now fires in another hard shot as Eddie Browning and Johnny Noble, the team of something else, former NCW champions, former SSW champions. This tag team is falling apart right before our very eyes as Alan King, Death Row 2000, Flex Armstrong, the 1, 2, 3 Express, everybody's out here trying to break this thing up. Jason, this thing is breaking down fast.
Joe, I was very shocked ringside. I thought Eddie was going to shake Johnny's hands and they were going to let bygones be bygones, but apparently not.
And, well, Johnny's just coming across. Oh, they're on the concrete here. And we've got several wrestlers out here. Death Row 2000, Alan King, Flex Armstrong, the 1, 2, 3 Express. Everybody's trying to pull this thing apart. We got three men on each one of this former tag team partners, as I tell you what.
All right, fans, Jason Steele ringside, and we're joined now by, I don't know if I should call you member of something else, former member. We're here with Eddie Browning. Eddie, you and Johnny had a little confrontation. You guys have had some problems. You want to come out now and clear the air or make a challenge? What are you doing ringside here?
Jason, like you said, we've been having, a few problems. I've been sitting back here and thinking about everything that's transpired, everything that's went on, and I just want to ask John Noble to come out here.
All right, Eddie Browning's called out John Noble, tag team partner.
Listen, John, I'm not here to fight, okay? I've been back there thinking about everything that's went on. I even went as far as to call the one person that means more in the world to me than anything. I called my mother. I asked her advice on this situation. She told me that I needed to give it a long, hard look at everything that's happened to us, everything we've been through, and what's going on right now. John, you've always been the leader of this team. You were always the team captain. I just want to say I'm sorry and ask you to accept my apology and shake my hand. Well, Eddie, people don't know this, but we grew up together. I've known you since I can remember. If it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't be here right now in this ring or in this area or even wrestling. If you can give me your word, I owe you that. I'll take you at it.
All right, fans, looks like something else back together. John Noble and Eddie Browning shaking hands. It looks like they're back together once again.
You're a man, you want to do something for once, right? You want to do something right for once? Come on!
Fans, it's breaking loose out here ringside. We're seeing John Noble and Eddie Browning look like they had things cleared up, but no. Eddie once again laying out Johnny with the help of ruthless Roger Anderson. Unbelievable.
Are you ready, Central Kentucky? Turnbuckle World is here. This is your ultimate destination for wrestling cards and collectibles, including title belts, Funko Pops, and more. Turnbuckle World is also home to Pokemon and Magic the Gathering. If you're looking to learn how to play, or you're ready for a tournament, Turnbuckle World has you covered. Find ultra rare card pulls to add to your collection, or get that missing Pokemon or Magic card to win those crucial tournaments. Make sure to join us for signings in the store and other great upcoming events. Go visit them at 190 East Main Street in Mount Vernon, Kentucky. Turnbuckle World is a proud sponsor of AMW. Head to turnbuckle.world for more.
He makes a tag. Here comes the Drifter in the ring. The tag into Eddie Browning. The Drifter working over Brian Logan. Logan is to the outside.
It's been like a house of fire here. Look out.
The Drifter and Eddie Browning. He takes the mask off. It's Johnny Noble. Johnny Noble. He was dressed as the Drifter. Eddie Browning running for cover. Eddie is out. Johnny is getting chased.
He's looking for higher ground now. I can tell you that much.
You've got to be. There they go to the outside. And Eddie Browning is met by Johnny Noble. Big right hand. There they go to the back fence. We're going to get a camera back there. We're going to get this.
Wait a minute, I understand you got a camera back.
Yeah, we do have a camera in the back. Let's go see what's going on in the back.
Well, this is completely out of control now at this point.
Unbelievable, fans.
We're getting word from the back here.
They're fighting all over the place in the back.
I can't believe what's been going on.
I can't believe this.
This is unbelievable.
I think apparently getting some help back there. Again, fans, we're bringing you this action right here on WB30. Johnny is laid out right now. Fans, boy, what a main event this turned into as Johnny Noble took the mask off of the Drifter and went after his partner. That's going to wrap up this edition of NCW Rampage. Yeah, we're going to wrap it up here tonight, fans. We're out of time. We'll see you next week right here on NCW Rampage.
Joe Wheeler here along with Jason Steele. And Jason, I tell you what, we got a rather unique situation here as Johnny Noble has signed this match, a handicap match against Eddie Browning and Roger Anderson, just so he could get at Eddie. I tell you, that's really got to show the vengeance that Johnny's got in mind for him.
Joe, you know that these two guys used to be tag team partners, talking about John Noble and Eddie Browning. They had a nasty breakup. They've been fighting for months now. And Johnny wants a piece of Eddie. It seems that every time they get in the ring, Eddie runs, he heads to the back, or he has a friend there. So Johnny said, hey, I want a piece of Eddie. I don't care what it takes, 1-on-2, 1-on-3, 1-on-4, as long as I get my hands on Eddie Browning, and that's what he's doing now, facing a 1-on-2 situation just so he can get his hands on his former partner, Eddie Browning.
Johnny Noble is ready to go here as he is kind of taped up there, extra support around his rib area as he is still feeling the effects of some of his previous altercations. But Johnny did the right thing there, got Eddie over in that corner and was able to get out of there before they trapped him in the corner and were able to take advantage with a double team. And that was a very good strategy, Jason.
It sure was. And Johnny, of course, has those ribs bandaged up, as you mentioned. He was attacked in the parking lot after one of the matches, and Eddie Browning was the instigator of that. He broke a couple of ribs, and Johnny, knowing him, the competitor that he is, he didn't want to take any time off. He continued to wrestle, and anytime you have a rib injury like that with broken ribs and you continue to work, it's going to take a lot longer to heal, and that's why Johnny still has those ribs bandaged up, wrapped up. They haven't fully healed yet, and Eddie Browning knows that. Roger Anderson knows that, so they're going to work on that when they get the opportunity.
Absolutely, if they get the chance. And Eddie just scrambling over into his corner, into the safety and refuge over there with Roger Anderson, as those ribs apparently are hurting Johnny a little bit already, as he was moving his arms around there trying to loosen up a little bit, get those ribs going, as Roger Anderson now, big man coming to you from Greenville, Tennessee, and Ruthless Roger, of course, one half of former 8-time SSW Tag Team Champions, along with Frank the Tank Parker. And Roger knows how to take care of business, and he's going right to work on John Noble.
He knows how to do it in the singles ranks as well as tag team. You mentioned his partner Frank the Tank Parker. Now he's teaming up with a new individual, that being Eddie Browning. And a guy like him who knows tag team wrestling as well as he does, teamed with a guy like Eddie Browning, who was part of something else, the tag team with Johnny Noble for so long. These guys are excellent tag team workers, and that's what they're faced with here tonight. But they've got the upper hand because they've only got to face one man, that being Johnny Noble.
Good point there, Jason. No doubt about it. John Noble is able to control Roger Anderson, at least for the moment. And Roger back up to a vertical base, got a handful of face there, raking at the eyes of John Noble. And Johnny caught Eddie right there, coming in with a hip toss and a nice arm drag takeover there by John Noble, as he's able to control his former tag team partner in Eddie Browning. And I tell you what, John really wanted this match. He wanted it so bad, like we said, he was willing to take on 2 men handicap match just in order to get Eddie in the ring. And Eddie, laying in some hard chops right there on John Noble. But John turns it right around and fires in a series of chops of his own. Back and forth, these former tag team partners go. And Jason, I tell you, these guys were known as something else when they were working together as a team. But this feud that's evolved is certainly something else.
Boy, I tell you what, you're right there, Joe. These two guys have developed a bitter hatred for one another, as we saw the blistering chops there from each individual. And we see Johnny go down from a shoulder tackle. You got to wonder how many times he hits the mat like that right there, how that is going to affect his ribs. With any small fall to the mat, it's going to hurt a little bit. But with something like that, that's got to be devastating to the ribs, as you see Eddie Browning continuing to work on the ribs of Johnny Noble.
Absolutely right, Jason. That was a great point you made earlier. Anderson and Browning both, no doubt about it, they know John Noble's hurt. And there you see Roger Anderson just laying in a series of shots to the ribs of John Noble. I mean, just pounding him. And now ripping that brace off. He's ripped that protective brace off the ribs and now using that to choke John Noble as well. And I tell you what, Roger Anderson didn't get the nickname of the Ruthless for nothing.
Exactly right. Ripped the brace off of Johnny Noble, and you see the layers of tape still around the ribs of Johnny Noble. But still a lot of heart for this guy to take on 2 men at one time. He knows Eddie Browning very well because they traveled the roads together for 4 long years, tag team champions. They basically grew up together. Eddie Browning also knows Johnny Noble, but throw into the equation that Eddie Browning has told Roger Anderson everything there is to know about Johnny Noble, whereas maybe on the flip side, Johnny has to study Roger Anderson and get his moves down. I think, again, the 2-on-1 an advantage there, but still, you've got to give an even more advantage to the team of Browning and Anderson because of that factor.
Good point there, Jason. You're absolutely right. As Browning got caught again right there. Johnny Noble firing up now. Hard right hand to the side of the head. Takes his former tag team partner right to the buckle. And Eddie goes right to the eyes. And a cheap shot there to turn that momentum right back around just that fast. As these former tag team partners are just trying to rip each other apart right here. And they have really focused their attack on the ribs of John Noble.
I think that's a smart move on their part. And you see Eddie Browning trying to rip the tape away of the ribs of Johnny Noble. He's successful with one strand there, but again, layers of tape around the ribs of Johnny Noble, trying to protect it the best he can. And I don't know, even with those layers of tape, look there with the right hands by Roger Anderson. I don't think even layers of tape and a bandage, you can put, maybe a suit of armor on him. I don't know if that would help against these two guys.
Yeah, that's true. They would certainly try to kick and stomp their way right through it, as Noble is in a lot of trouble here. Slumped down and just now trying to make his way back to his feet, as Eddie Browning caught him with a boot right there as he was trying to come back up. Anderson now sets this man up. Perfectly executed vertical suplex right there. This could do it. Referee's in position and only got a 2 count, as Johnny was indeed able to kick out of that situation. And now Anderson Look at him meticulously pulling the tape off of John Noble's ribs.
Trying to expose the ribs even more. We saw with that high vertical suplex, the impact right there on the small of the back, but still jarring those ribs. And even if they had healed somewhat, you've got to think in a match like this that maybe it jarred loose a little bit more, maybe cracked a little bit more. Johnny may have injured more ribs. He may have a few more cracked ribs from Eddie Browning and Roger Anderson.
Well, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing like the pain. We got a cover here, got a 2 count there before Noble was able to kick his shoulder up. But I tell you what, you talk about intense pain when you're talking about cracked or broken ribs, Jason, because every breath you take hurts. Every time you try to fill your lungs with that vital oxygen, it hurts, and it hurts bad. As Anderson now is choking John Noble over in the corner with something. I can't tell exactly what he's got, but he's using something that he's choking Noble with while Eddie Browning's tying up the referee.
Not only does it hurt when you breathe, but it makes it even more difficult to breathe and catch your breath. And Roger Anderson just amplifying that by choking Johnny Noble and taking even more wind out of the sails, if you will. And it's going to be difficult for Johnny to fight back from this.
Absolutely right. I tell you what, you got to admire the fighting tenacity of John Noble, the guts of this young man, just to sign a contract along these lines, facing two men that are bigger than him. But you got to admire the courage of him to do that. As Eddie Browning, his former tag team partner, now back in there taking care of business. Oh, and Anderson provided a well-placed knee to the ribs there, Jason.
Once again, continuing to work on the ribs, both the front and the back. You see Eddie with the solid kicks right in the back of Johnny Noble. And I don't know how much more, Joe, to be honest with you, Johnny Noble can take out of this.
Well, that's a very good point, Jason. You're absolutely right. This young man sustained quite a bit of punishment just in this match, not to mention the matches preceding this, as Eddie Browning is just relentlessly stomping and punching away at John Noble, and John slumped down in the corner. And I tell you what, the referee maybe needs to think about stopping this. But no, just as I say that, Noble's firing back. John Noble fires back again with another hard right hand. It's taking everything he's got in him, but he's firing back. Irish whip to the far side. Noble comes across and misses that attempted elbow, once again injuring the rib area.
Costly maneuver there by John Noble. Took the chance and tried to get a big offensive maneuver on Eddie Browning, but Eddie, the pressure of the two, moved out of the way. Johnny Noble ran right into the turnbuckle and again knocks the wind out of the sails and injures those ribs once again.
Anderson with that driving his knee in right there, like you said, right back, keeping that focus right on the ribs. And just slugging away at the chest and rib area as he's pulling back on that arm. If John Noble were to submit right here, I couldn't blame him a bit, because he's just in a tremendous amount of pain, a tremendous amount of pressure as Anderson continuing this assault. And I tell you what, if anybody knows how to make you hurt, it's Roger Anderson, as he even takes a moment to mock the crowd here in Kingsport.
Just, as you said, mocking the crowd, and go back to a point that you made. Wouldn't be surprised rather, if Johnny Noble would submit as a result of what's happened in this match. I'd have to agree with you, and I've seen Johnny Noble compete for quite some time, and it's not like him to give up on a match, give up on anything. He is there to fight. He is there to go right down to the wire, right to the bitter end. But the amount of abuse that he has taken from these two guys in this match is just unbelievable. And right there you see a knee to the back from Roger Anderson.
Absolutely, and that stopped what momentum John Noble had at that point. His former partner, Eddie Browning, brings him back up. Irish whip to the far side. Johnny ducked under that one, ducked under that as well. Both men coming across, and both men with the same idea, going for a clothesline, and both men knocked down now after that double clothesline, Jason. And poor John, he is taking quite a bit of punishment here.
And right here, Joe, here's where the handicap match comes into play. Eddie Browning can crawl over and tag out to the fresh man, Roger Anderson. Johnny Noble has no partner. It's a 2-on-1. Johnny has no one to tag to, so obviously Browning and Anderson can keep the fresh man in at all times and continue to work on Johnny Noble.
Very good point there, Jason, and now they're getting on the same page. They're making sure they're ready to rumble here as, they've got John in a lot of trouble here as Eddie's holding him. Roger's coming off here. Oh, but wait a minute. That backfired as John Noble's going up He's going up to the top rope. This gives him the opportunity, his moment to shine right here, and he's on that top rope, comes across, catches him with a crossbody fall over Eddie. Referee made the count, and Johnny Noble has won this match. He wins the 2-on-1. He wins the handicap match. Give the credit to John Noble coming back and winning this match. Unbelievable win for Johnny Noble. But he may have won that match, but he's paying the price for it now as Eddie Browning and Roger Anderson are going to work on John Noble right here. Oh, they've got him set up for something here. Oh, no, a double power bomb. Just what he really needed on those ribs. Exactly. Injuring the ribs even more. And you look at Anderson and Browning in the ring. Noble may have won the battle, but it looks like Browning and Anderson won the war this time around. No doubt about that, Jason. I tell you what, Johnny fought a hard fight. Fans, we're going to take a timeout. We're back right after this.
Okay, John, you and Eddie have broke up now. You have opportunity to win a singles title. Give us a little bit of info about that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that the instance you're talking about was in Nationwide Championship Wrestling. I done the title shot with the champion Bull Payne, who, if you're familiar with professional wrestling, is definitely a name, has traveled all over the world, and I literally mean all over the world for every major promotion. And I had an opportunity to step in and face him for that title, and especially at a time where Eddie and I had just split, and I was kind of at a crossroads, you know, because I didn't really have a lot of experience as a singles wrestler. So I was kind of like, do I need to continue this thing as a single? Do I need to find another partner? What do I really need to do? And it was the next series of matches that we're going to see are some of the matches that really kind of helped me make up my mind that, yeah, I could do this not only as a singles wrestler, but I maybe could do it as a high level as a singles wrestler. And as I think you're going to see here in this match coming with Bull Payne.
Let's take a look at those.
In Ohio, your main event for the NCW heavyweight title, Bull Payne and Johnny Noble squaring off. Of course, ringside with Bull Payne, his manager, Sweet Scotty Ace. We saw a week ago Johnny Noble getting a win over Eddie Browning. That gave him a title shot at Bull Payne. I'm the champ. Bull Payne is the champ. Bull Payne is the champ. He says to me, don't forget to tell him I'm the champ. He is the champ.
Right there.
He has the belt right now. But tough challenge here from Johnny Noble. Now, these two guys squared off a few weeks ago. You may remember that, fans, on NCW Rampage. It was a 2-on-1 situation again there as Scotty Ace got his cane involved right on the head of Johnny Noble that gave Bull Payne the win. And these two guys, Bull Payne and Scotty Ace, you want to throw the Batten twins into the mix. Full House has been running roughshod over everyone here in Nationwide Championship Wrestling. We see 2-on-1, 4-on-1, 3-on-1, whatever the case is. Scotty Ace getting away with a lot of things here in Nationwide Championship Wrestling, and a lot of people, a lot of fans, quite frankly, are sick of it. Scotty Ace says he's going to get a good seat for this. And I happen to be one of those that is just quite frankly sick of seeing the 2-on-1, the 3-on-1, the use of the cane, everything involved with Full House. Bull Payne with the upper hand here on Johnny Noble. There's a shot to the back of the head after a solid headbutt. Give Noble a lot of credit, though. A couple of weeks ago, as I was talking about this heavyweight title match, Noble took everything Bull Payne had, and still, it took Scotty Ace's cane for Bull Payne to get the win. Now, obviously, Scotty Ace ringside is a big advantage for Bull Payne, and he's held that title since February. He's held it for quite some time. Here's Johnny Noble with a crossbody, new champion, maybe. He's got two. Only a 2 count as Bull Payne kicks out. Again, Bull Payne won the NCW heavyweight title from Stan Lee back in February. He's held the title since then. And he's faced some pretty tough competition to keep that title. And he does have a victory over Johnny Noble to his credit. But he'll have to make it 2 wins over Noble in order to keep that NCW heavyweight title. Bull Payne on the outside trying to catch his breath, walking around with Scotty Ace. And I will say this, he is a very intimidating individual, Bull Payne. And he does like the action on the outside as well. We've seen him take it to the outside with suplex, DDTs, and chair shots in many of his matches. And Johnny Noble giving giving chase there momentarily to Scotty Ace. Scotty coming over here ringside and wants to watch his hand. No doubt who the fans are rooting for here. They don't like Bull Payne, they don't like Scotty Ace, and they do like Johnny Noble, who's had quite an impact in Nationwide Championship Wrestling. Great.
You mentioned he's a champion.
I mentioned he's
How many times?
Several
Better
times.
say it more, son. He is the greatest wrestler ever. Look at it. 1, 2, 3.
Just a 2 count. Thank you. I have mentioned he is the champion. Bull Payne again with the upper hand here on Johnny Noble. Backs him in, ready, and lines him up for a big chop. Shot to the back of the head now, and Noble is in some trouble. He did have a very tough match a week ago against his former tag team partner, Eddie Browning. Again, that got him the shot at the NCW heavyweight title here tonight. And this is your main event. Scotty Ace getting a little extra shot in there on Johnny Noble. Referee Billy Biggs was distracted. A big back kick by Bull Payne right to the midsection of Noble. Snapmare takeover. Noble down. There's just a kick right to the back. Nothing fancy about that. Just a kick right to the back of Johnny Noble, and now a rear chin lock.
Come on,
Referee Billy Biggs in there asking Johnny Noble if he wants to give it up. Bull Payne with the boot right to the side of the head. And of course Scotty Ace will like that out of his champion. Trying to hold on to that title. And Noble has worked very hard to get this title shot. Climbing the singles ranks after the problem there with his partner Eddie Browning and the split up of something else. Now Johnny Noble fighting back, shots to the side of the head, shoots Bull Payne across into the opposite side, but runs into a big right boot by Bull Payne, and Noble lying face down on the canvas. Bull Payne saying, "I'm smart." He is the champion. As he likes to point out, and he and his manager, Scotty Ace, like to let everyone know, and Bull Payne just stomping on the right hand of Johnny Noble. And now Noble rolls over, so Bull stomps on the left hand. Payne lining Noble up, a big backhanded chop again, just chopping him down like a tree, and Johnny Noble falls to the mat.
For good.
And Bull Payne delivers a shot right to the inner thigh there of Johnny Noble. Noble is in trouble. Is helped to his feet by Bull Payne. Bull backs him in again, stretches him out, headbutt to the sternum. Bull Payne, no doubt, has been in control of this match from the opening bell. Noble has had a few rallies, if you will, but really nothing substantial. Here comes Noble ducking the clothesline. He runs into a knee of Bull Payne, and a shot by Payne right to the back of the head, and Noble again goes down. Payne now with the overhead toss. Almost a version of the belly-to-belly suplex, and Bull Payne just standing looking at Scotty Ace and smiling. He thinks that's it. We'll see here. Bull Payne will pick him up. And here he goes again, throwing Johnny Noble to the outside, down to the concrete. Bull Payne now comes to the outside. Again, his second home is outside there. He likes the wrestling in the ring. Here he comes right. Oh! On the table here in front of us, and Noble hit that table hard. Noble is down. Payne now picking him up. Let's see what he does here. And it's just pulling him right into that steel ring post. And I wouldn't be surprised if Scotty Ace tried to get some shots in on Johnny Noble as well. He likes that, I'm sure. Noble now tossed into the ring. He is down, and this could be the opportunity for Bull Payne to retain his title. Climbing back in the ring, just circling around, looking. Of course, he's real happy. Shot to the midsection. And Bull now picking up Noble. Let's see what he does here. Scotty Ace standing in the corner. Bull shooting Johnny across and gives him a shot to the midsection. Bull Payne DDT. Noble is down. That could be it. Bull Payne just crawls back on Noble. He's got 1, 2, and no, only a 2 count. Johnny Noble kicks out. Only a 2. Only 2. Scotty A said, hey, that's a 3, but no, only a 2. Johnny Noble still fighting back. Somehow had enough strength to kick out of that. Bull Payne with Johnny Noble still down, climbing up to the second rope. And now walking along the second ropes, just scaling his way across. Let's see what Bull Payne has in store for Noble here. Coming off, missing with the elbow. Noble rolls out of the way. Here's Johnny's opportunity. Does he have enough strength to come back and mount some offense against the big man? The Milwaukee Madman shot to the midsection by Noble. Now a sleeper hold. He's got the sleeper hold on Bull Payne. A submission maneuver. Bull turns it around. Overhead slam, I should say, once again. And both men down. Noble is down. Bull Payne slow to get up. Now back up on his feet. And the boots across the eyes of Johnny Noble. Now Bull Payne going to the outside. Usually when we see him go to that top rope, it's lining him up for a frog splash. Let's see what Bull Payne does here. Bull is up to the second. Now the top rope. Payne coming off, and he runs into the boot. He falls right into the boot, face first of Johnny Noble. Staggered now. Johnny Noble gets up. Tries to shoot Bull across, reversal. Noble reverses it, and a sleeper once again. Sleeper hold, the submission maneuver on Bull Payne. Does he have enough strength to hold on to it and keep the get the NCW heavyweight title? Bull Payne coming over to the ropes. He drops down to the second rope. Scotty Ace has a chair. Scotty Ace has a chair, but look, he's ready. Look from the back. From the back, someone wearing a Scotty Ace jacket. Nailed Scotty Ace. He nailed Scotty Ace. Somebody wearing a Scotty Ace jacket and a mask. What is... Scotty Ace is down. Bull Payne is down. Johnny Noble is ready for Bull Payne. Oh, my goodness. Who in the world was that? Johnny Noble, crescent kick. Crescent kick on Bull Payne. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. Johnny Noble beats Bull Payne. We have a new NCW heavyweight champion. What happened? Look at the guys, the stars coming from the back congratulating Johnny Noble. Noble has the pinfall win. We have a new NCW heavyweight champion. Fans, we're out of time. We'll see you next Thursday night right here on NCW Rampage. Yes.
All right, guys, back doing some more commentary for you. Me and John are. So you and Eddie Browning that broke up, something else no longer together, and you're in Bowling Green, Kentucky, against the headliner himself, Chris Michaels.
Yeah, this would have been for the USA main event promotion ran by Dale Mann in Bowling Green, Kentucky at a little place called Reed's Restaurant, which, we spent pretty much every Sunday night in Bowling Green for about a 5-year span. No matter what else we were doing throughout the rest of the week, Sunday night was usually Bowling Green. This was my first run-in with Chris Michaels, and if you're familiar with professional wrestling, especially in the Kentucky area, Chris Michaels is a name that you recognize as being one of the very best to ever put the boots on.
Well, what people don't understand, Chris Michaels, I know he wrestled for Smoky Mountain, he wrestled for WCW, he wrestled shots for the WWF, WWE. He just went down to the Performance Center and was a trainer down there and held some seminars for their wrestlers that are training at NXT. And here you are back in the early 2000s. Get him in a go-behind.
Yeah, the thing about a guy like Chris Michaels is he's just so smooth. Everything that he does is just as crisp, as sharp, and you really have to be on your toes to try to keep up. This was one of my very first big singles matches post something else breaking up. So I was really looking forward to this match. I was kind of curious to see where I was at as an individual wrestler. Kind of at a crossroads really at this point.
Sounds like a mixed crowd or a split crowd. Some spot.
Chris had been a regular in Bowling Green probably at this point. I would say 7 or 8 years. So they knew Chris. Even though his attitude was probably a little worse than mine at this point, he still got a lot of support out there. I'd been to Bowling Green for a little while. They weren't quite as familiar with me. They were starting to warm up to me, and I was certainly trying to do all I could to earn and deserve that favor from the crowd.
Now we're talking. This is post you and Eddie Browning splitting up, and it's probably weird going from a full-time tag team wrestler to a singles competitor.
Yeah, absolutely. They both got their own challenges, obviously. As a tag team, a lot of nights, you need to be sharp, but you also need your partner to be sharp. So a lot of what you do as a tag team is dependent on two guys. As a single, you're obviously in there by yourself, and a lot of these times you're taking these beatings and there's no tag. There's nobody to tag out to, so you can kind of catch your breath and get your bearings about you. But it's all you once you get in a singles match, especially in a singles match with a guy like Chris Michaels, trying to kind of get the bluff on me a little bit.
After you and Eddie split, it seemed like your career kind of took off, or he didn't quite gain such singles success as you did.
I think that's relative to where you're at. I think at this point, Eddie was doing a lot of wrestling. I think maybe in Central Kentucky and Northern Kentucky, stuff like that, having a lot of success on his own as well.
But still, you're talking Eddie. You went on after something else split up. You won the nationwide championship, heavyweight championship. You won a lot of other singles titles. And, Eddie really didn't have that singles success and ended up forming a few other tag teams.
Drop kicks right there. I don't mean to cut you off, but those were good-looking drop kicks.
But, he ended up having to go back to forming other tag teams and then continuing his tag team career. So it's safe to say you had a better singles career than Eddie did.
I really wouldn't want to be the judge of that. I don't know. At this time, like I said, Eddie was a lot in Central Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, Ohio, stuff like that. I'll be honest with you, I don't even really know what he was doing at this point in time. But, definitely after the tag team split up, I felt like my singles career, and this was one of the matches right here that really helped give me the confidence to really pursue a singles career. Because, like I said, for me at this point, I'm kind of at a crossroads. Do I try this as a single? Do I go on as a tag with a new partner? What do I do? And this match was huge for that.
So you've just pissed him off, and he's not playing anymore.
You can tell that Chris has traveled a lot with Tracy Smothers. He, aside from this incredible wrestling ability, he has the same mentality as far as trying to get inside your head sometimes and get you off your game. But again, I can't say enough good things about Chris Michaels.
Since we're talking Bowling Green, let me just quote a dear good friend of Tony Falk. It seems like Chris Michaels is falking mad.
That's how it would appear, and I love Tony Falk. I was able to work with. I actually got to have a match with Tony Falk in Bowling Green, probably a couple years down the road from this. And there, Chris tries to go for a cheap shot. And again, this was a big test for me. I had to be on my game, and I had to be on my toes right here. So I've really got Chris going. Very quick match, pulling him in. There's the leg sweep before I really perfected it.
The leg sweep has taken so many out here lately.
Oh, famouser. And again, that Chris is so explosive.
Can we say famouser on this?
You can if you want to. I refuse to say that word. I've never said that word.
You just said famouser.
I said famouser.
I specifically heard famouser.
You need to clean your hearing out. Clean your ears out. You're getting old. A couple of good-looking left-hand jabs. I tell you what, you don't see a lot of really good-looking left-hand jabs anymore. A lot of guys don't throw them for whatever reason, but Chris is on point with his. I remember those well.
It's like Chris is really taking over in this match. I'm sure, being the veteran.
Nice edge chop right there, yeah. At this point, I think Chris Michaels was probably about 8 years in the sport. I was about 3 years in the sport, I think, at this point. So, 5 years makes a big difference. Size-wise, not a whole lot of size difference between Chris Michaels and I.
And, the thing about Chris Michaels, he's still going today. He's still going strong. Maybe he'll arrive in AMW. We don't know. Never know. Guys like him and Victor Bruiser are hard to find, but they're still out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Vic the Bruiser's another guy, man. It's just he's been doing this forever. He has success everywhere he goes. If AMW, you know, there aren't a lot of guys out there that we look at and say, man, if these guys came into AMW, it would definitely raise the stakes. But both those guys would definitely force everybody in AMW to step their game up.
Nice vertical suplex.
Jackhammer.
Yeah. So he's hit you with the Fameasser, the jackhammer. Now he's pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know, like I said, this match for me, I don't know, maybe Chris took me a little lightly, maybe, I don't know, but he's definitely pulling out the big moves because at this point, like I said, I was kind of an unproven entity as a singles wrestler at this point.
It's like Chris Michaels is wearing those motorcycle boots that a lot of people used to wear.
I had a pair of those when I started. They were a little bit heavy, but now they're effective.
You remember I had a pair? We all, it's rite of passage. Look, small package.
What we got here? I don't know that I remember exactly how this match is. Oh, big leg lariat, right across the daggone face.
Is that a small package or is that an inside cradle?
That would have been an inside cradle.
I find it so humorous today to watch some wrestling promotions, televisions, and their commentators can't make up their mind on what to call things. Some have years of experience and know what to call things. Others just look like mass morons.
Back to the left hand jabs, wind up huge right hand. Chris taking his time, probably taking a little bit too much time right here. I was thankful for it, though.
Nice singlet, by the way.
Thank you.
I remember you give that singlet to somebody and he filled it out quite nicely.
That been Earl Fields?
No. Oh.
Big boot as Chris came off.
Wouldn't necessarily call that boot big.
Size 11 boot.
You know what they say?
Average boot. How's that? Average size boot to the face.
You know what they say about guys in average boots?
Got average socks.
They say they had small hands.
Here comes the right hand. Good block punch, firing back.
Is that Crystal screaming, "Go, Chris, go"?
Huge clothesline right there. Huge clothesline. Flying back elbow. Haven't broke that one out in a while.
Yeah, ref, do your job. Oh, look at the DDT.
Hard DDT as Chris Michaels completely flipped to his back on that. Still had the resiliency to kick out. He's a tough man, Chris Michaels is. Still got him rocking and rolling, shoot him across, come charging.
Big boot to the face.
Big boot. Oh, he's got his feet on the ropes. Referee still kicks out anyway.
How could he count that slow?
How about the resiliency right there?
That was a pretty slow count.
Resiliency right there.
He counts like the count off the Sesame Street.
High sunset flip. Chris posing. Oh, caught him. Now got him with the sunset flip.
Oh, look at you. Oh, that had to hurt.
Oh, and ran right into that clothesline.
Is that a clothesline or is that a lariat?
That's clothesline. As far as I'm concerned, Stan Hansen throws the only lariat I've ever seen. It has been 20 years since I've seen this match. Crucifix pin, 1, 2, 3, got him. Great match.
Crucifix pin out of nowhere. Who would have thought Johnny Noble, Mr. Electricity, could get up that high?
You know, the name thing, you know, that was something. They were always trying to give me names. I never really
liked having nicknames. I don't know why. I've just never been that way.
Welcome back to NWA Main Event. In the ring, TV debut, I guess you'd say. John Noble taking on Ryan Righteous. John Noble making his return since that back injury. Last Saturday in Columbia made his return to NWA Main Event and got a non-title victory over Mean Mike Woods, and those two will meet tonight for the championship.
That's right. Noble did have a triumphant return, Lee. He got a victory over Mike Woods. There's a big shoulder tackle by Ryan Righteous.
The leapfrog there by Noble. Noble now flips him over, back up to his feet. Deep arm drag right into the arm bar.
Boy, that's some good wrestling. He don't look like that back's giving him any problems there. I tell you, a leapfrog going right into that reverse monkey flip, that'll put some pressure on your back right there. It's a pretty good little test for him right here on TV this morning. And I think that's what he's doing. He's trying to show everybody he's back 100%. And anytime you get a pinfall over Mikey Woods, you've accomplished something, brother.
Righteous working on the arm and Noble reversing it. Down to the full Nelson, spin around into a hammerlock side headlock. Nice move there by John Noble.
Beautiful little bit of chain wrestling there by John Noble. He's got a tremendous amateur background. Big shoulder tackle. Righteous is down.
Comes back up. Ryan Righteous with the leapfrog. Comes over. Tries for the reverse monkey flip himself. Now drops back down. Noble now comes across, blocks the hip toss, turns it into a monkey flip of his own, and flipping over Righteous, who walks right into the arm drag once again. Straight into the arm bar. John Noble on fire here.
Tremendous showing this morning right here. He's making a good showing for himself right here for being back on NWA TV, Lee. And give credit where it's due. He's a former NWA Mid-America Tag Champion with Robbie Ruffin. Somebody else who's out with an injury. And I tell you, we're looking forward to Robbie coming back here pretty soon. I understand that he's about healed up, ready to make his return.
Righteous back to his feet and reverse the Irish whip. Comes off going for a slam, go behind there by Noble. Noble now gets donkey kicked as Righteous was distracting the referee, and then forearms right to the side of the head, now straight down into the choke. For all the great fans of NWA Main Event, if you're having trouble logging on to NWAMainEvent.com, don't worry about it. We've hired a professional webmaster who has got the site under construction right now, and we're going to bring you the best wrestling website that this country has to offer. This professional webmaster, I've heard so many great things about him. He's going to be having the new NWAMainEvent.com up and running real soon.
That's right, Lee. No more of this backyard stuff. We're going high-tech with this thing. Mike Porter has spent some money, and they're totally redesigning this website. It's supposed to be state-of-the-art.
2 count there by Ryan Righteous and a kick out by Noble. And Righteous looks to might have surprised John Noble. Might have been underestimated just a little bit. And Righteous on top of Noble here, scooping a slam, center of the ring. And Righteous now backing up. Real high leg drop, just kind of bungee jumped on that thing. Now down for the cover, hooks the leg, and only a 2 count.
Well, I tell you, he's not going to hold him down that easy. John Noble is a strong young man. You can tell he's been doing a lot of rehab on that back. He's bulked up some since he was here before too, Lee.
Once again, Righteous just rubbing the face of John Noble into the mat at the Inferno Bar, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where you can see us each and every Tuesday night for the television taping. Great crowd last Tuesday at the Inferno Bar.
Yeah, it was a packed house the other night. My hat's off to Rob and the gang out there. They do such a tremendous job of working with us every week out there, and it's a great place.
Oh! Powerbomb there by Noble as he just catches Ryan Righteous.
Did you see his head bounce off that mat, Lee?
Yeah, it did. Speaking of Rob and Inferno Bar, I got to go to the bandana bikini contest.
Man, I'm telling you, that thing's hotter than popcorn, brother. To quote a good friend of mine, Reno Riggins, hotter than popcorn, brother.
Noble now blocking 2 right hands and delivers 2 of his own. Now Noble firing up on the head of Ryan Righteous. Backs him, whips him across. Reversal there by Righteous, who ducks his head way too soon. Reverses into a backslide as Noble. 1, 2, kick out there by Righteous. Back up to his feet, and Righteous gets kicked right to the gut by Noble. Noble now setting him up, going for a suplex, turns it into a small package as Righteous. Kick out after 2 by Noble. And Righteous just pushes him over and then starts wearing out the ribs with those kicks. And then spins and tries to get a spinning heel kick, but I don't think he got the leverage that he was wanting over in the corner. Now whips Noble hard to the corner, comes going across. Noble up and over. Now down for the sunset flip. 1, 2, 3 count. There it is. John Noble getting his debut TV victory here on NWA Main Event.
John, you've always had a unique style for your promos. So when you're doing a promo, what goes through your head at that time?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think for me, as far as giving a promo or even an interview, I think I try to just say what I believe, say what I think, and I try to, I'm pretty much just a regular guy, and I try to emote that whenever I'm speaking about someone, either in a promo or interview, and I just try to just speak straight ahead and use plain language I think everybody understands, and I always feel like if I believe what I'm saying, then the people that I'm saying to will believe it. And that's always just one of the things that's been really important to me, is to project that realism and truth in what I'm saying.
Let's take a look at some of those promos.
For 3 long months, John Noble's been laid up at home with a bad back, laying around, reading on the internet, hearing all the talk about how big, bad, mean Mike Woods is the heavyweight champion, the Mid-American champion at the NWA main event. For 3 months, I've had to lay at home and wait and pray for the day that I can return to Columbia, Tennessee to face you, Mike Woods. And last week, finally, after 3 months, like I said, after 3 months, I came back. Not only did I face you, Mike Woods, I beat you 1, 2, 3, fair and square, right in the middle. Albeit a non-title match, but I think I proved to you, Mike Woods, and to everybody else that even after those 3 months, John Noble is back. You know I can beat you. The people in Columbia know I can beat you, and you can whine and cry all you want to because Ronnie Brown wasn't with you, but I will guarantee you this, that Ronnie Brown, his money, all the money in the world is not going to save you or your title tonight in Columbia, Tennessee, and you can take that to the bank.
You know, sometimes in life, opportunity presents itself. They say, you know, when they give you the ball, that you got to run with it. You know, everybody runs around here, they talk about John Justice, the man that's been here and has never held the heavyweight title. They talk about Shane Williams, the king of Knoxville, who couldn't even hold on to the heavyweight title. They talk about Jeff Anderson, who's been around forever, probably wrestled Moses in his first match for all I know. Then you talk about Edward Idle, a man that I've had run in like a scalded dog twice. Didn't just out-wrestle him, didn't just out-fight him, ran him away from the ring. And then you talk about a sixth man that everybody wants to know who the sixth man is. Everybody better worry about John Noble. The most technically proficient professional wrestler walking the face of God's green earth is coming to Maryville, Tennessee on the 31st of May in the Tennessee War Games. And I'm bringing the ball, and I'm taking the ball, and I'm running with it. Hello wrestling fans, this is John Noble, and I've been saying for months that UCW has the best stars, the brightest actions, the hottest wrestling promotion in the southeastern United States, which is why I'm here. I want to be the best. I think I am the best, and I'm here to prove it to you and to everybody in this locker room. If you want to keep up with the stars of the UCW, go to onlineucw.com, tune in on Saturday mornings to the television show, and watch the stars of UCW, and watch John Noble as I climb my way to the top.
I'll be out for revenge on the 18th.
You know, the only thing that we did for Bulldog Mac is just end his pain a little sooner, because it was just a matter of time before Ricker Rollins put him not just out of a title championship, but out of this business. We did that kid a favor, and he needs to thank us instead of trying to stick his nose along with the Iron Cross in our business. Because let me tell you this, and I'm going to speak slowly, and I'm going to use real small words for you folks at home. John Noble and Earl Fields are simply the best tag team walking the face of God's green earth. And you know it. And we've got the gold to prove it, and you know it. Come Wrestle Fest. I want the Bulldog to bring his best. Everybody talks about how good Bulldog is, how great he is, how unbeatable he is, how all the girls love him. Well, son, if we were filming an Abercrombie commercial, you'd be the first person I call, but this is a wrestling match. So you bring the Iron Cross with you. Probably held more titles than anybody in this part of the country, but he's not here, he's not now, he's not Noble, he's not Fields, he's not the champion.
First of all, let's have all you belfry baboons sit down and shut up before I come up here and snap up one side and down the other. Now, as punchy as it is to see the special ed department of the Belfry High School out here this season, I must say I'm moved to tears. Now, let me tell you something. It is an absolute honor for you to be here tonight to see John Noble, the most technically proficient professional wrestler walking the earth today. And because I know you're in Belfry, our friends, ladies, that means I'm pretty daggone good. All right? Now, let me tell you something. I always wonder what happened to Froggy off the Little Rascals. Now I know. All right? Sit down and I'll flank all four of you tonight. You and Big Ear. Big boy, I bet you can stand on top of the house and pick up any television channel you want to. There ain't no doubt about that, man. Now, all the way over here, from all the way to the hill, all the way down here to Big Air. I want absolute silence in this building. Hey, you quit. Don't you get them started. Don't you get them started. This place and never come back. You fucking put them down. Calm down, Froggy. I was only kidding. Now, as I said, I want absolute silence because I'm about to take apart piece by piece the next pump that comes through that curtain. And if you don't shut up, I may come out there and take apart some of you before this season. You heard me, Grizzly Adams. I'm talking to you, all right? I'm talking to you, Grizzly Adams. I tell you, come up here, you have a heart attack by the time you got to the ring. All right? Now, the concession stands over there, so you calm down. Now, like I said, sit down, shut your mouths. I'm going to kill this punk right here tonight.
So later on tonight, you're in the main event against the former WWE superstar, Doink the Clown. It doesn't matter if it's WWE, WCW, ECW, IRS, NRA, GLAD, NAACP, it doesn't matter. John Noble is a wrestling machine. And you just witnessed it. Didn't even lose my gum. All right? And it's going to take me about 3 minutes. Don't you interrupt me, Adolf, when I'm over here talking. Don't make me come out there. Don't make me come out there. I'm telling you. I told you, kid, I can't see you with all that camouflage on. All right? Now I know what happened to the Backstreet Boys. I've been wondering for years. So now, I just want you to know, during intermission, I'll be out selling pictures and autographs and all that good stuff. $75 a picture. One-time price for Hip Hill. And we take WIC and food stamp cards and all that stuff. You guys should be set up perfectly. Who said stupid? I don't like that word. I told you, Pee Wee, with ears like that, you need to sit down. All right? I'm going to take you home, put you on my roof. I'm going to pick up 50 more channels. And then I will take you down to Shoney's and use yours for salad bowls on top of that. All right? I'm taking my belt, and I'm going to the back, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.